Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Options Mentor. Well, this is Sunday, the day after an attempt on former President Trump's life, and I really think we have to consider what that may do to the market. By the way, I have no idea. The market may have little or no reaction to it, or it may have a large reaction to it. So my guess would be it will be little or nothing, or a sell-off that's much larger. So that kind of uncertainty the market doesn't like. Looks like he's fine. Race is still going, but I'm not sure how they'll perceive it. They might perceive some instability, and it could make for a crazy overnight session in the futures and tomorrow. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about things you could consider tomorrow if maybe we're getting a negative, a bearish response, things that you could look at. And I do want to give you one word of caution about using futures in a situation like this. Many times, the way the futures open up, now they're going to open up at 5 o'clock Central tonight, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, wherever you're at. And when they do, it's possible that we could have little reaction and then it could get a profound downward move, or maybe it'll start out profoundly down and then recover, or it could keep going. We just don't know. So be very careful about buying put verticals or that type of thing in the futures. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, whatever. It may be a great one, but just be very careful. Don't quote bet the farm on put verticals that you buy overnight in the futures with the reaction you might already be seeing and might expect to continue, because it may not. So I really think caution is the main thing here overnight. I don't know for sure where we're headed with this. It may be nothing, but I think you have to really consider, with this much tension in U.S. politics, that it could have a fallout on the market. That I don't see any way there could be a bullish reaction to this, but there could certainly be a negative or bearish reaction. So let's look at a couple things that may or may not even be on the table tomorrow, depending on how the market perceives things and how it reacts. So, one thing, if we're looking weak, or maybe very weak, you could always consider doing something like a put diagonal, where you could go out further than this, but I went out here to the 26th, which will be a week from this coming Friday. And I just bought the 29th as my long, and I bought the 56.40. You're selling at 56.30, 10 points wide. Your long is deeper in the money than your short. Very key here. So are these going to be the right numbers? Who knows, right? We don't know where the market's going to open tomorrow. We might open up, here, we might open up down 100. But whatever we do, if you want to do something like this, I would probably go maybe, 20, 30 points above what we're trading, perhaps something like that, buy a long, and then sell the short 10 points lower. That's what I would do with the put diagonal if you want to try one tomorrow. With this put diagonal, of course, it can keep on going. I just take my money down here and run if this did happen. And on the upside, well, you'll have to do something. Basically, if we get all-time highs again, or 55, 56.50 or so, or whatever, you'd probably want to add a complex to the top. So that's one idea that may be in play tomorrow. We'll have to see how things go. And it may be that we open out with little or no reaction. And you can still consider this if you think one's going to happen. Who knows? We're in a very just hyperbolically overbought or extended market. This bull market is, I think everybody would have to admit by now, it's absolutely insane. It tends to disregard whatever and just keeps on going, keeps on going. Never got the rate cuts they expected. Market keeps going, keeps going. I've talked about that before. It's like the old Monty Python movie with the knights that say neat. No matter what you do, cut off an arm, cut up another arm, they're still in the game. That's how the bulls have been. And they may react to this like that. I don't know. So we'll have to see. Now, another idea would be some sort of a vertical. Now, with a vertical, obviously, you don't have as much up room, right? When I do a diagonal, as you can see here, I've got a fair amount of room up here. I really wouldn't have to react till 56.50, 56.60 area. Whereas in a vertical, and you can put it different places, but if you just put it here, yeah, you're going to be hurting a little more up in here, depending on how you do it. And if it goes down, of course, great. And once again, we don't know where we're opening, so you have to judge for yourself where you'd want to put the vertical strikes. But no matter what you did, if you did anything, a diagonal or a vertical, I would be very careful even tomorrow about going too big on size. Now, another thing you could consider, of course, is using SPY, which is going to be 1/10 the size, or maybe you want to use the futures tomorrow, which is the ES. Everybody trades the E-mini. That's half the size of the SPX if you have futures approval. So you could maybe try any of those vehicles, or another great idea would be to trade this thing on paper if it's haywire, and you can kind of see how reactions go without real money in the game, but you're still learning. So be careful with that. So I know this is kind of a special situation. So I'll have to be back next week with maybe a more solid plan. I just don't know what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow with the market. I think just any kind of no reaction to bearish reaction is very possible as we see things develop here. So as always, I appreciate your attention. Please hit that subscribe button and the notify button. And I will be back with you next week. And hopefully we have at least a calmer setup for a situation to see what we could do further. So have a good trading week and be very careful out there with what you're doing with this much political tension going on that can spill over into the markets in an instant. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.